welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming for you my second trimester pregnancy update. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I have just returned from my midwife appointment and had my anti-D injection and had my bloods taken again. So sorry if I'm a bit all over the place, but I thought I'd talk you through basically everything that's been going on in my second trimester, particularly over the last few weeks, because there have been like a few changes, a few medical issues, things like that. So I will start off with the biggest change, and that is over the last few weeks I have developed something called SPD, and that is symphysis pubis dysfunction. So basically I have written a blog post about this, which I will link down below, and I will link to a site on Baby Centre where they give like a really good explanation of what SPD is, the symptoms and how you can treat it, etc. But I will basically run down what my symptoms have been and what my experience has been. So I started getting really bad shooting pains around my lower back, in my hips and also in my groin, and it got to the point where I'd be at work, and I have an office job, so I sit down for most of the day, and it got to the point where I was trying to sit in my chair and I couldn't sit down without getting these pains so badly. I tried for about an hour and it got to the point where I was in tears because I couldn't sit without being in excruciating pain. I couldn't get any work done, and this is coupled with not being able to sleep at night, because when I'm laying down, the pressure on my hips and my back, it's so painful that I'm not getting great night's sleep. Trying to roll over in bed is an effort as well. Walking to and from the bedroom to the bathroom in the middle of the night takes a lot of effort. Getting out of the bed takes a lot of effort. So basically anything takes a lot of effort at the moment. So yeah, if I sit for too long, if I stand for too long, if I walk for too long, then I do get in a lot of pain, and that is mainly focused around, like I said, my hips, my groin, my lower back. Sometimes it feels like I have been kicked in the crotch, which is not very nice, or it feels like someone's stamping on my lower spine. So yeah, that's been the biggest change for me. I have been referred to see physio, so I have a physio appointment in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully they're going to give me some exercises to try and help like with the pain and everything. And I've also been given painkillers, so I have to take cocodamol every day, which wasn't something I was keen on because I know codeine is one of those drugs that you can get like addicted to, and it's not so much that I'm worried that I'm going to get addicted to it. It's more a case of whatever I'm taking, obviously the baby gets as well, and I don't want her to get addicted to the codeine, because if you take a lot of it prior to when you give birth, and I know I'm on a very low dose and I'm probably just overthinking everything, but there is the chance that they get withdrawal after you give birth because they're not getting that codeine anymore. My doctor said it's fine, that I don't need to worry. If she does get any withdrawal, all they have to do is give her a bit of medicine and she'll be fine. But you know what it's like as a new expectant mother, you don't want to have to put your child through anything that it isn't necessary. So I've been trying to manage it mainly with hot water bottles, baths, although I need help getting in and out of the bath now. Also just resting and light movements every now and then. I've been signed off work at the moment, and they have advised me that I should start thinking about possibly moving my maternity leave to an earlier date, which made me feel a bit like, ugh, because I originally thought, yeah, I'm going to work up until 38 weeks and I'll be fine, and that was very naive of me, obviously never having been through pregnancy before, and I know some women do work right up until they drop. I'm just in the unfortunate position where I am having a lot of difficulty, which isn't my fault. It doesn't make me a failure, even if I did feel like a failure for a little while. So yeah, it's all about making sure that I'm not stressed, I'm not tired, I'm not run down, because it's not good for the baby. And at the end of the day, if going to work and being in pain all day and being tired because I'm not sleeping at night and then having to work is just too much, then it's just too much, and I need to do what's right for me and baby and not worry about what other women do in their pregnancies. So that's something that I really need to start thinking about. But overall, that's like the biggest change that's happened. Today I also had what is called the anti-D injection. So I have negative blood group. I'm Rhesus O negative. If you have a negative blood group, then you will have to have this injection at some point during your pregnancy, just because there's a risk if your blood mixes with the baby's blood. I think they kind of like fight each other somehow, and so this injection is just to prevent you, well, not you personally, but this injection is just to prevent your blood from trying to like attack baby's blood, vice versa, if you were to have a bleed or anything like that. I will warn you now, it is the most painful injection that I have had. It stings horribly. It's over within like a few seconds, but it is sore. It's not very nice. And I've had a lot of injections because I used to be a dental nurse, so I've had a lot of vaccinations and things in my time, but I have to say that that was one of the worst that I've had. Yeah, if you're unfortunately a negative blood group, you may have that to look forward to. Maybe you have a higher pain threshold than I do though, so you might be fine and not think anything of it, but I thought it really stung. And it's still stinging right now, so she said to keep my arm moving, etc, etc. So also other updates, I've been getting daily heartburn, but I had heartburn anyway. If you've watched my previous pregnancy updates, you'll know that I've already been suffering with heartburn. I was measured today and Bump is measuring right on track. She's right the size that she should be. You may have seen that we went to have a 3D scan done, and unfortunately we couldn't get a good shot of her on that day, just because she was in a very awkward position, and I do also have an anterior placenta, so she is tucked up like behind the placenta. She was right at the top. She was covering her face and everything with her hands and her feet. So we're going to go back in a couple of weeks and have another scan, see if we can get a better shot and see what she looks like, see if she's going to be less stubborn than last time, and see if we can actually get a good shot of her face, because it'd be lovely to see what she looks like. But we did have it confirmed that she's definitely a girl, and if you watch my previous pregnancy updates, you'll know that I had a really bad 20-week scan experience and the woman wasn't very nice, and I left feeling really disheartened. And the private scan we went to, she was really lovely. She really put like my mind at ease. She concentrated on talking to us, talking to everyone in the room, and it was just a really nice experience, and we get to go back again and I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully by the next time I do a pregnancy update, I'll have some sort of shot or picture of her 3D scan that I can show you, but for now I don't have that unfortunately. But you can still see her first, oh, where is my finger? You can still see her 12-week scan in the background there. So that's what she was looking like all those weeks ago, and now she's getting quite large. And I'll also just touch on anterior placentas. So basically an anterior placenta is when your placenta sits at the front of your baby rather than behind your baby, which is completely normal. A lot of women have anterior placentas. It doesn't harm the baby in any way. However, it does mean that you won't feel baby's movements as much as what other women experience until further along in your pregnancy. So I'm now at the stage where I feel her move very regularly. The only downside is that sometimes Jack can't feel her move as much as what maybe other parents might be able to feel when the placenta sat behind the baby. Basically the placenta is just cushioning her movements. So although I can feel everything she's doing in there, unfortunately it means that Jack can't feel when he puts his hand on my tummy. And we have got to the stage now where she is making bigger movements. She's bigger herself and stronger, so he can feel more than what he used to be able to feel. I can't see as many movements from the outside. Again, that's just because the placenta is cushioning where her movements are. But now she's getting bigger and I'm 28 weeks. I am seeing a lot more movement than what I was seeing previously. But it's nothing to worry about. By the time you get to your 3rd trimester, you should be feeling baby move. And if you have any concerns, obviously then speak to your midwife. But it is not uncommon for baby to have cushioned movements if you have an anterior placenta. That being said, today when we went for the midwife appointment, and the midwife was trying to check for baby's heartbeat, whenever the midwife put the Doppler on my belly, she'd kick the Doppler away, and the kick was so big the midwife pulled back a bit and was like, oh, and she had to try and find the baby's position again, and that happened a few times before we could get a good listen to her heartbeat. So now at 28 weeks, she is nice and strong and kicking away, and I can feel all her movements. However, it did take time to get to that point, and I still can't get any shots of like my belly moving all over the place like other women can get, unfortunately. I might be able to get to that stage when she's a bit bigger, like right at the end. I do see some of her movements, but not enough to be able to share it with anybody, unfortunately. And I don't think Jack has seen her move, he's only felt her on the odd occasion. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. At least she's happy, healthy, and I know she's moving around in there. It would be nice if Jack was able to feel a bit more from the outside, but it's just one of those things, and yeah, it can't be helped, unfortunately. So I know some of you are going to want to see what the bump is looking like, and I can report that I don't have any stretch marks yet, so I'm very pleased with that, and I will give you a bump shot. I'll insert it here so you can see what the bump's looking like. Okay, so this is my 28-week bump, and I'll just show you as well. So I've not got any stretch marks yet, so I'm very lucky. This is my big round belly. Here you go. Usually I wear dresses in these. I think this is the first time I've shown like my belly in the video without having like, I don't know, something covering it. So yeah, I'm also going to film a video about all my pregnancy favourites and things I'd recommend for helping to like prevent stretch marks and things like that, and all my pregnancy must-haves, just based on what I found's really helped me throughout my pregnancy. So that's another video that I'm going to be filming. And I'm going to stop because this is really hurting my hips. But there's one last shot for you of the bump growing nicely. So that is what we're looking like at 28 weeks pregnant. So I am about to go into the 3rd trimester, which is why I've done this 2nd trimester roundup video for you. As things change and progress, I might do more frequent updates if that's something that you'd like to see. But obviously keeping in mind that I am having a lot of pain at the moment, and so filming videos that take like, filming sit-down videos aren't always as easy as just doing like daily vlogs and things, because I can just pick up the camera and go. The sit-down videos take a little bit more planning, although today I didn't script anything. I've just sort of sat down and started rambling to the camera. We've also started decorating baby's nursery properly. You might have seen a few clips of furniture being put in and seen the messy state that it was in some of my vlogs. I am planning on doing like a nursery tour when everything's finished. I also had a request to film a video of how I'm organising all of baby's things, so I might combine the two into one video, or I might do a separate one. I'm not sure. Leave me a comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing that, or if you do have any requests for any pregnancy related videos. I am going to cut this video here just because my hips and my back are really hurting sitting in this chair, so that's just one of the problems that's come along with the SPD, unfortunately. And I thought this video was going to be a lot longer, but I think just because I am in pain, I've sort of sped through it a bit. But if you have any questions, obviously relating to SPD, leave them down below and I'll answer them as best as I can. Or if you have anything else you want to ask me, then as always, as I keep saying, leave in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these kind of videos and you'd like to see more from me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!